she just looks a wreck. I think it's extraordinary how her clothes don't fit her properly, how she's always hugging people so tightly. What does it mean? Nothing really, because you can forget them in a minute. I think they are, I think they've got, I think with any marriage, actually, after a while, you can adore each other. First of all, it's a wonderful love time and, it's just amazing. And then after that, you're in stage 2, when you've got to see, well, all that sexual effort all the time and all those things. You've got to also find something else there.
Breaking right now, a bombshell German TV documentary, Harry, the Lost Prince, is said to be a calamity for royal reunion hopes. Angela Levin, our royal mastermind, took part in the documentary. She has seen it, and she now is here to give us an exclusive insight in terms of what it reveals about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's new life in Montecito nearly 5 years on from Megxit. Angela Levin, great to have you here. Apparently, they come across as elitist in this documentary.
Yes, they do. The thing about this documentary was that I was surprised how keen they were to know about Harry and Meghan. And sometimes they get very excited about things we've already known for months and maybe years. But there were 3 men in that discussion. None of them were journalists, and they were brilliant about Harry and Meghan, particularly Harry. There was one, Ben McBean, who was with Harry in Afghanistan. And he was a man of color, and they were friendly. But he got fed up with Harry because all he did was complain about his family. Now, he lost an arm, he lost a leg, and he just got very fed up with him. And I thought that was a very interesting little look at Harry, because he moaned about his family for not just for Meghan, it's just moaned and moaned and moaned about it. And actually that's very unkind of Harry, because somebody who's lost their arm and a leg, they're the ones who really need your attention and kindness. But it was all about me, you see, and I think that was very, very interesting. The next one, there's only 3 of them, so I won't keep you too long. The next one was
important.
a man. Pardon?
It's important.
Yes, there's a neighbour of Harry and Meghan's in Montecito, and this was an elderly man, but he was also honest. And he said, well, the interesting thing is that Montecito is the most wonderful place. You can't imagine how beautiful it is. It has all sorts of people here, and it's just marvelous. But I never see Harry wandering around. I never see Meghan. They have no interest in getting to know us, ordinary people, and to make friends. So I thought, there we are. That's something else. They're sort of grand, and they don't want to talk to people who aren't, very, very rich or very, very, acting. They're sort of in the acting world. So that was that. But the most interesting one was a man called Dave Davies, former head of Royal Protection. And he was a very formidable, really. He said it was unwise for him to mention Taliban in his book, Spare. Why did you do that? You open your big mouth, and it would make people think that you were a target. He also said that he would only, I watched him very carefully when he was in Colombia. Now, Colombia is 90% poor, but he and Meghan only mixed with the upper classes. It was all about them, and very little to go there except for themselves. Last bit was, it's totally wrong about saying they are not, he's not safe in the UK, and that's why he can't come. Nigeria is much more dangerous. We did know this, but it's actually nice to hear it from someone who's very expert. One of the world's most dangerous places. And also, Meghan should not wear clothes worth £10,000 when it doesn't give the right message to people who've got absolutely no money. So that's, I thought, was the most powerful part. A lot of the people like me who were talking about Harry in a general way were much not soft. I'm never soft to those sorts of things, but they were saying about him as, but he wanted to be in love and have a lovely time in America and just enjoy himself, and if he could get a job, and that's why the family was so cruel about him. Well, I think all that's nonsense. I think when you're in your teens and you have your first love, you might be like that, but when you're in your 40s, you can still be just as much in love, but you have to take into account other people in your life, money in your life, and behave in a more adult way. And it seemed that people felt, some of the people who were talking about it, there's quite a lot of us, just wanted to say, well, this is the way he is. He's just like that, and they want to be global philanthropists and make the world a better place. Well, I think I would know loads of people who'd want to be global philanthropists. But my goodness, you can't be. I mean, it's nonsense, isn't it? It's a sort of dream.
And it's not how their actions play out, because according to this one report, Angela, the German documentary also points the finger at Harry and Meghan for inevitably trading off their former royal roles
Yeah,
by
I was
seeking to
getting to
make
that
money to
now.
support their
Yes.
lifestyle. Okay, yeah, you go on.
Well, it just is that they didn't seem to think, or several of them didn't seem to think, that it was really wrong to actually make their money by being very unkind and harsh on their family. And if that's what that's all they've managed to do, then it's really shameful. And they haven't looked after the royal family. They've actually just found all the things that they might get angry about and use them to make lots of money. And I think that that's absolutely disgusting. And I think one of the reasons why Harry wants to come back, as he's done before, they're desperate to get information, a bit more about Charles's cancer, a bit more about Catherine's cancer. If he comes over here, and then he can go back with that to earn some money. I don't believe that he's going to come here because he really wants to. Several of the people who talked said that, he's a lovely boy, really, and he wants to be with the family. I don't believe that. I mean, I spent a lot of time with him in the 15 months that I was with him with writing his biography. And he was a lovely man then. But we can all change, and someone's brought out in him the nasty part of him. And I don't think it will be at all easy to go back and be a different sort of person. I don't think that's ever going to happen. And people saying, well, he can come back. Why can't they be a bit more open-minded? It's nothing to do with open-minded. It's actually to do with what he's now like. He's not the same person.
I know, and the whole tone by saying the lost prince, it's as if he is not responsible at all for what's happened, and he is. He is, if not as responsible, more responsible for the hell currently being inflicted on the royal family because of the court cases, for example, that he is dragging his own relatives through.
That's interesting, actually. I hadn't have thought of that when I thought poor Harry. I thought, well, it is poor Harry because he's so lost and doesn't know what he wants. And I think you're right the way they say that. He could have he could have been not so poor Harry. He said all those nasty things. Like David said, he said all these nasty things. And so he's responsible for saying them. So that's...
Indeed. Now, they,
Thank
they,
you for
they
that.
also say, Angela, this is interesting because I know the documentary makers spent a lot of time in Montecito. and they say it even pours scorn on them for failing to mix with wealthy neighbors in the celebrity enclave of Montecito of California, where they have made their home with children Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. So what's the suggestion, that they think they're too good for the community?
Well, I think they're obviously not in the top, in the right rank. There might not be actors or filmmakers. There might be people who they think don't deserve to talk to them. I mean, they have got very grand. It's not only very recently then that Meghan has said she wants people to call her ma'am, and they want Harry to be called sir. Now, when I was with Harry, he just didn't say, he said, I'm not interested in that, just call me Harry. So, they're now very grand. And Meghan, of course, has suddenly realized, I think, that she wants to be royal, or she wants to hang on to it because it will be helpful in the future.
You don't know what you've
And
got till it's gone,
yes, that's very
because she
true.
claimed she hated it.
Yes, that's very true. Yeah. And it's they've been completely silly. I think that all this thing of attacking and using names and being very, very intimate, like Harry has been about William's body.
Mm.
I think that it's you know, is that clever? Is that funny? What's
No.
he going to gain from that? It's just very spiteful. And it's a sort of thing you say, if that's what you feel you should say about me, I want nothing about it.
Yeah,
So,
and he's
you
lost
know,
the respect of so many people who actually did embrace Harry and Meghan doing their own thing, but also love the royal family, including a lot of Americans, including a lot of celebrity Americans, by the way, who love that, having that sort of vicinity with British royalty, because they feel it ups their celebrity stocks. Can I just ask, though, Angela, this documentary has been in production for a long time. There have been
over
a
a
lot of
year.
rumors, yeah, and there's been a lot of rumors about a big bombshell, some sort of claim about the marriage or the children or something like that. No, it doesn't feel like anything like that has been broadcast. Is that correct?
No, it's not really. It's just a very good PR sort of effort, and say, a huge bombshell, because we see loads of them. So you want people to buy it or to look at it. I mean, for the first part, I mean, it was just everybody knew everyone. Everyone knew what they were saying about Harry, really. And it's not an outstanding thing. It's interesting. But if you're English, you probably know that already. Whereas maybe if you come from a foreign country, you don't know so much that you might gasp at anything. But really, there's not anything to be so astonished by. They
Got it.
haven't got that. It's
Can
very
I just
interesting
ask, when
for
you were being
men.
interviewed for the documentary, Angela,
Pardon?
did can I just ask, when you were being interviewed for The
Mm.
Lost Prince by the producers, did they seem to be looking for a particular angle in any way? Were they asking about the state of the marriage, for example?
Yeah, they asked a lot. I mean, it's a massive conversation of about 3.5 hours, and it's over a year ago. So I can't remember because I did quite a few, and I don't know whether they
Mm.
who asked what to whom.
And I guess a lot's
But
changed in a year too.
yes, but I was exactly going to say that things have changed a lot. And where they have got people saying, oh, they're still incredibly popular in America, America's loves them, they don't anymore. They haven't for quite a long time. But that is very out of date. So there are these things that are out of date. But if you see it and you're German and you really want to know something about the royal family, you don't mind if it's not a bit out of date. But this was out of date. It's taken them a long time to do it. I thought it was never going to make it. I mean, I just do it and I never go afterwards and say, when is it coming out? Can't wait. I just hang on. And sometimes it comes out ages later and I can't remember what I said or
Well, this
anything.
one has certainly got the world talking. It has got the
Yes,
world talking, this documentary.
yes,
But
yes.
it sounds like you get much more insight, Angela, just from us. on Outspoken
Ah,
because we're keeping you up
how
to date
nice you are. How nice you are.
on a
But
weekly
some of the
basis.
things I feel about, I was very in tune with those three men. I
Yes.
felt that about all three of them. And other people would say, oh, well, you've got to forget it or that, leave them. But as you know, I'm not interested in that. I'm much more interested in digging into how the person thinks. Um,
Well,
you
can we
know,
look, Angela? Can we look? Because we are coming up to the 5-year anniversary of Megxit. So, can we just pull back a little bit and look at Prince Harry and Meghan's lives in California? Do you think they have worked out in the way that either of them expected? But first, you know how often I talk about the need for free speech to be protected, but I've been increasingly thinking of the need for personal protection from snoopers, bad actors, and hackers online. And I'm delighted to tell you I've now found the fail-safe solution. But what's more, this VPN, or virtual private network to use the full term, is also a life changer when it comes to providing you entertainment and information from anywhere in the world, wherever you are. So let me introduce you to Surfshark, an incredible and easy to use service that encrypts all your internet traffic, meaning your online activity stays safe so you can shop, stream, browse, and conduct your banking online in complete privacy. But the benefits of Surfshark go way beyond keeping you safe online. It allows you to access your favorite entertainment and news shows and channels, including to streaming services like Hulu, iPlayer, HBO Max, and Peacock. Or if your favorite show is blocked on one of your existing services, like Survivor for me here in the UK on Netflix, but it could also be on Amazon Prime or Disney Plus, within seconds you can be watching as if you're in another country. If you're traveling for work or on holiday, you can also get all your favorite content from home, including sports. And also, this is an insurance policy against creeping censorship in many countries. For example, France has blocked Rumble for many months now. No issues if you've got Surfshark. You can watch anything, anytime, anywhere. It is true freedom. A VPN can save you money too, because you can get the best deals from websites that change their prices depending on where you're buying them from. And there are other benefits too. You can use Surfshark on unlimited devices. As you can see, I've got a few here on my computer, or your entire family can stay safe with just one subscription. And with over 3,200 servers in 100 countries, there is a world of choice at your fingertips. And if this is your first time using a VPN, there is 24/7 customer service available to you. So if you go to right now, surfshark.com/outspoken, you get an extra 4 months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. What's more, Surfshark so confident they're the best VPN in the world that you can give it a try for a full 30 days. And if you're not entirely satisfied, you will get your money back. So go to surfshark.com/outspoken for an extra 4 months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. Just click on the link in the description box below. But now, back to the show.
no, I think they haven't really. I think they're sort of very jumbled, and I think that they sort of don't really know what they want. They're sort of hanging on to being royal. They sort of want to go there and be respected as royal. On the other hand, they don't at all. I mean, this picture of Meghan is awful. And I just thought it's very interesting that Harry had gone away. He's now, hasn't been seen by his pair, by Meghan and undoubtedly the children, if they're there in the house. That he's busy, whereas Meghan put on this dreadful dress and went round, and she just looks a wreck. I think it's extraordinary how her clothes don't fit her properly, how she's always hugging people so tightly. What does it mean? Nothing really, because she can forget them in a minute. I think they are, I think they've got, I think with any marriage, actually, after a while, you can adore each other. First of all, it's a wonderful love time, and, it's just amazing. And then after that, you're in stage 2, when you've got to see, well, all that sexual effort all the time and all those things. You've got to also find something else there. within the person, that they still interest you when you talk to them, that they're still there to look after you if you're not so well. And so it's the love is stretched out over um, a whole plate, a whole room, a whole floor, a whole everything. And it makes them very different, doesn't it? I don't think you have the same sort of first off relationship after a couple of years or so. And then you find other things that you love just as much. Well, if they've got children, then that's lovely too. And if they haven't, you can actually see what you're really like, the details of a person, dig deeply. But actually, if you can't find that, or you lose your temper because you're frustrated about what you really want and the person hasn't really given it to you, it's all very difficult.
So, what you're describing to me, Angela, is the honeymoon period is well and truly over.
Yeah, but I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's nothing wrong with that. You move on after a honeymoon and then you have a lovely day by day moon. It's I don't think that matters. And you've got really the ability to stretch yourself and make jokes, and you know what makes someone laugh, you know what makes them happy, you know how to help them if they're miserable. And I think that's a lovely next step in a marriage or a togetherness. Don't have to be married. And I think that I don't know where they are. It's very strange for them to sort of split when they were, salt and pepper all the time and couldn't bear not holding hands. And that is really, how do you manage that for 2 months? If you really love the person, I can't understand it when you can actually change the times you go on your journeys and you can pay them easily because you've got lots of money. I think it's sad.
It is sad. It is sad. But at the same time, Angela, they ignored a lot of advice and they took a lot of people for granted. And there's a reason things haven't worked out in Montecito, in Hollywood.
Oh yes, I agree with you for that. But also, if you have somebody who is never satisfied, it's never any good. The dress for £10,000 actually is not as nice as the one for 15,000, and I wanted that one really. I've got 16 bathrooms, but really I would like to have 20. I'm in a beautiful place near the sea, but really it's not quite near the sea. If you're the sort of person that always looks for trouble or something that doesn't appeal to you, or you're frustrated with yourself, I think, then you don't want to follow that. I think, and you can't do anything about it. It can happen to a woman and a man, of course, and that the man might never be satisfied. Oh, I wanted my dinner ready on time. Can't you ever do it? Whereas if you've been busy just as much as them, or they say that dress or that, tie. It's a way of living together, which I think is lovely if it works, and not so lovely if it doesn't.
Indeed. So, not a happy portrait of Prince
I don't
Harry
think
and
so. I
Meghan
think
Markle.
I think also Harry is so careful not to upset her. Um, he's so he so loves her and doesn't want her to go or leave him that he's absolutely very careful. So that makes him nervous, and that makes the other person feel able to tell them off and shout and be difficult. Whereas if you have someone who pushes back just as much as you do, you might laugh or leave it for the next day and everything's fine. I think there's a big difference there about how you can make things work.
The other
Interesting
big
discussion.
the other big royal news of the day, Angela, worrying. Something you had been privately predicting for some time. Queen Camilla has confirmed that she had, and potentially still has, or it's at least impacting her, the after effects, although here she is today, pneumonia. What do you know?
Yes, well, I think I told you ages ago that I thought that was the problem. Um, but actually, because it's not, it's one type of pneumonia rather than another, it's not too bad. And she's now not got it, but it can take all the energy out of you, that sort of pneumonia. And so she's now just got to be careful not to get overtired. I'm was surprised at first that the doctors let her go out, but I now see that they watch so carefully to make sure that actually, her lungs are all right and things are not as bad as you imagine, and it's improving all the time. But you just need to make sure that when you really feel tired, you must stop. It's a bit like these COVID things that makes you, years later, you still are very tired from it, and nobody can really help you. But you just have to rest a bit so that your body does actually get a bit more active. So I'm really quite pleased about that. And she does really want to be with Charles for these occasions. And I'm very pleased. She looked well, she had a nice blue dress on and she was very chatty and looking at all the paintings and things that they were showing their guests.
And look how lovely Catherine and William were together, Angela.
Yes.
I guess
I
by
mean,
contrast, compared to what we're talking about with Harry and Meghan, they look very much a couple in love after everything they've been through.
they do, but they have known each other a very long time, you see. They were together for 10 years before they got married, and they've got a very easy relationship. And they both laugh at the same things. If she often whispers to him or he does to her, and they roar with laughter. It's not saying, "Oh, don't make a noise," something like that. It just is very, it's
Yeah.
very gentle. And I think that they both feel very, very comfortable with each other. I think William couldn't be more grateful to have such a wonderful wife who, is everything you could wish for, I imagine. And she just adores him as well.
Yeah,
And
beautiful
you see,
pictures
you
today.
can always tell with the children, the children love both of them, jumping all over them, laughing, looking after them. They look after um, Camilla, not Camilla, they look after their
Catherine.
mother very, very
Yeah,
carefully.
no, indeed. And it was wonderful to see Catherine there, even though she's not attending the state banquet. So good to see her there today. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.